Preparing to live stream. Got it. All right, so we here. This is a super duper impromptu live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I have a guest on here from the Abundant Reality, Jalicia, and obviously tensions are super high. It's a Scorpio eclipse today. Jalicia, what was you about to really tell us, like, when it comes to this intuitions, prophecy, whatever it was on the Venus Cazimi and how that plays into what's going on in your mind and your space?
Um, well, I know I was just kind of looking at a lot of astrologers talk about the Venus Cazimi and about how it's just a really important turning point and things like that. So I just kind of dug into my chart, like where is that for me? So as a Taurus rising, it was hitting my sixth house
Hmm.
and of work. And so I was wondering to myself, like, I wonder how that's gonna play out, or where that's gonna pop up at, or whatever. So I happened to one of my best friends, she had booked a show. She's an actress, so she had booked a show. And she was like, can you come out here or whatever like that, because it's my last three shows. So I'm like, all right. So I drove all the way to Santa Barbara from San Diego. It's like a 5-hour drive. And I get up there, I watch the show. One, I just remember my love for just theater and performing and entertaining. Like I was like, wow, I have not, I haven't watched a play in so long, since I went to college like years ago. And
Mhm.
so I really enjoyed that. And then I stay up there for a couple of days with her, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna really, really enjoy my friend Michael." So I was like, "Okay." And so we all go down to the hot tub, like her and the whole cast, basically. So I just meet the whole cast. We're all talking about things, whatever, whatever. And so Michael comes down or whatever. So I start talking to Michael. So he's an actor, but I guess his first love is music. So we're just talking and talking. He's just so spiritually like, you know, in tune. And he's like, I guess he used to be a writer and stuff like that with like Universal, things like that. So he just pretty much really, really knows the music industry, pretty much. And so we're talking about all of these things. I'm just talking to him about all kinds of stuff. And he's just like reading me. He's just like reading my energy. He's like, he was like, I think you know exactly who you are. He's like, and your energy is very, very, very big. And he was like, and I actually think you're on the brink of exactly where you're supposed to be. He was like, I
Mhm.
think you know exactly who you are. I think you're just afraid of your own potential. That's it. I know. And he doesn't even know me, and I was like, this is a reoccurring message that I've been getting. But I like literally on that day, I never even met him a day in my life. And he says that to me. And he just gave me a lot of insight and things like that on just what was going on with me. And
Mhm.
he was just like, kind of just leaving a lot of gems with me. I mean, he's a Gemini, but dropping a lot of gems on me. Right. Where he was just like, he was like on this journey. He was just talking about like, in the industry, like what you're going through is not foreign to the industry. That goes on all the time. He was like, you got to stand up to it, and also stay away from people where you have to compromise yourself, or give up your integrity basically, or whatever. And he was just like, honestly, he was like, you already have it. He was just like, I would say, you need to go back to your, he's like, you need to go back to your project and you need to work on that. And it doesn't matter if people don't understand it, or people don't, it's not popular right now, or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. Work on that, put that out. And he was like, and people get caught up in contracts all the time. You think people don't have things where they love it and they're so attached to it and they love it so much, and then some business deal goes wrong and the public never gets to see it? That happens all the time. And so he was like, let it go, like let it go. And he was like, and go on your own, like finish what you were doing, don't. he just he really, really like told me a lot of things that I needed to hear. And I just thought it was very odd that I would meet him on the Venus Cazimi, because I'm like, you're
Mhm.
exactly the person I needed to meet. And then he was like, where are you from? I was like, San Diego. He was like, I'm from San Diego. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, if you need a producer, I got a producer out there. He can play every instrument you need. He can do this, he can do that. He's like, also, I got some videographers up in LA if you need that too. He just came out with all of these resources and things that I felt like I had to, I guess myself not in the seventh house, I felt like I needed other people for, or I felt like I had to kind of like um I don't know. I just think I felt like I couldn't do myself. Like, okay, the only way I'm going to get this done is if I kind of work with this person, even though this person's caused me to compromise myself. You know what I mean? I thought I was just going to have to just whatever, but he just came out with all of these resources. Like, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this. I connect you with this person. Da, 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 da. I'm like, what? That's literally all I ever even been wanting. So I feel like
Mm.
he just really shifted me back on the path to like self. Like he really like he just really opened my eyes to like I don't know that I really just been I'm sleeping on me basically. Like I'm sleeping. He inspired me so much like on the way down from Santa Barbara. I got so re-inspired. I opened my album back up. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to new beats to complete it. Like he just really instilled like a new inspiration because I was just like so uninspired, I guess. And
Mm.
then I watched a movie yesterday. It's on Netflix. I don't know exactly what is it? It's The School of Good and Evil or something like that. Or the Bad of
Mhm.
School of Bad and Good or something like that. It's like a new movie on
Mhm.
Netflix. I watched it last night and it was literally everything, like it was literally the sum of like what my project is about, but it was just really about finding like a balance, and it was about not perception, not getting rid of like sometimes what we think is good can be bad, sometimes what we think is bad can be good.
Remember our
And
astro
it
therapy
wasn't a
session?
huh
Remember when I told you about that shit about Sag 8th house?
about Sajid's house. Yes, you did. Yeah, you said you literally, yeah, you did tell me that.
Bro.
You did. And that's exactly what happened, literally. And it transformed me because I was just like, wow, like, and then the key, I guess, in the movie at the end, it wasn't to literally, like get away. It wasn't really to do away with the bad and it wasn't to do
Mhm.
away with the good. It was more about like integration, basically,
Right.
and
So what's the integration look like for you in these days, right? Because we're on a Scorpio eclipse, right? Like it's obvious that tensions, energies, are super duper high. There could be a tremendous amount of confusion that we chase rather than attract because Scorpio is not a chase, right? It's an attraction energy. So it's like,
right.
what are you attracting now? Like what? And I know it's very early in the Scorpio moon, right? This is super impromptu.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
so I'm
there's
like,
no script that we're running by. Like, what are you attracting? How are you attracting in this season?
what am I attracting in this season? Well, one, I'm not even, I think for me, I guess it's kind of like you said, I'm not chasing anything. For me, I felt like I kind of was weakening my frame when I was like
Mm,
going outside of myself. But I realized I really sat with myself and I'm like, Drew, you literally do. You can do it yourself. You have everything that you need to make things come to you. I
mhm,
guess I'm just being, and I'm just using my natural talents. I'm using like what I have, using what I got to get what I want. I guess what it is. I'm like, bruh, you're a one-man show. Like you're a creative director, you're like, I don't know. I guess I'm taking all these things all these natural talents that I have that I guess I use on other people. I'm just using those things for myself, and I'm recognizing just how good they actually are. Like I've been building businesses and things like that,
mhm,
more in like in the aesthetic realm and things like that. But
mm,
just from I just realized how good I am with like branding and things like that and aesthetic. Like I literally can build a brand of a business from the ground up. In one day I built like the brand for a business, for one of my businesses or whatever. And I was like, this this looks great. Like, this looks professional. This looks, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, like, I really can do this by myself. I guess I'm realizing how awesome I am, like, just within myself, where I don't have to.
Just check this.
Declutter your life. Glimpse of magic. Yes. That's exactly what's happening.
I love that as a black. I love that as a black guy. I love it as a black.
Right. Right. And a unicorn. What is that? Yes, unicorn. Yeah.
Unicorn. Yeah, that's my new deck. It's one of my favorite. Tarot girls. Her name is Diana Cooper.
Diana Cooper. Yeah, that's dope. That's exactly what's going on. Yeah. I'm realizing I could, you know, that I'm using I statements. I'm realizing that, like, I can I can open my own door. I can create a doorway for myself to walk through. I don't have to rely on other people or be at the mercy of other people, or, you know, I just need to believe in myself. That's it. Because I already can do it. I just need to believe that I can. I believe that I already have everything that I want, you know? So I'm just in a space where I'm just feeling me, you know? I'm in my bag. I'm in my bag. In my bag. So yeah.
This is really positive. I'm really happy to see, like, I'm really happy you joined that abundant reality, you know? Cause like,
yes.
I mean, you know, sometimes like transmissions, downloads, they take a little time. And I think it's one of the lessons of Scorpio as well, right? Like, it's a strategist, it's patient as fuck. Like, I think it goes underlooked how patient a Scorpio is. You know what I mean? Like, and so you have that.
Yeah, they got time. They got time.
Yeah, right? And it's like you got that in your seventh, right? And that's business. Seventh house is business relationships. So it takes time.
Right.
To build
oh no, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's it. Because remember, like, I was looking at it from a place like, you know, Scorpios and Tauruses are getting hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Guaranteed on this eclipse, like guaranteed they get hit the hardest. And I'm just seeing like the manifestation of, like, look what time has brought you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I also realize, I mean, I'm not going to act like, you know, sometimes we have astrology can help give us an extra boost, you know, when you know what's going on. It can kind of give you a little boost on what to do and things like that. So I really have been just kind of paying attention to what's been going on. And a lot of things in my life, I've been getting the same messages from people I know, people I don't know, giving me the same message, you know. And then I'm also just like, you know what? I just realized that, what did Buddha say? That attachment is the root of all suffering. Yeah. And I realized that my attachment, not wanting to let go, all the power struggles I was dealing with and not wanting to let go, that was causing me to be in just a very dark, depressive state. You know what I mean? And I just kind of felt like it was a little sick, that I'm like, why would the universe why would you let me go and connect with these people and do this, all to turn around and be like, let it go? Like, what is that? You know? So I felt I could not let it go. Like, my feelings were hurt. But I just realized this, the space of mind, or the black dragon from Saturn.
Time.
Oh, yes, time. Yes.
Time.
You have, concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulations, you have passed the test. That's cool. I feel like that.
Thank y'all for those thumbs up. That's cool as shit. Yo, let me read this once, because concentrate. Focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself. You have passed the test. It brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. This is why Saturn cannot continue to be villainized. You know, I feel like people make Saturn a villain. It's like, yo, bro, Saturn, if anything, gives you exactly what you earned. Everybody putting work in, right? And they're like, damn, where's my blessings? It's like, yo, Saturn gives you the blessings. Like, if anything, Saturn will maintain that karmic balance. And I feel like this is important for people when it comes to these intense ass energies. Like, if anything is shaken up, ultimately it's because it's giving you what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So even that's better
Yeah.
or worse. That's better or worse. It doesn't matter if you did dirt, you did dirt. You're gonna get dirt. You deserve it, right? But you as an artist, you had the spiritual discipline to go ahead and do what you need to do when you wake up, when you go to sleep. And what spiritual discipline in this instance on the Venus Cazimi, you took a trip 5 hours on a road. You listened to your source energy. You listened to your soul. Your soul was like, take that 5 hour drive. Your soul was like, listen to this guy who you've never met before. And now look,
Right.
that guy just started pouring rain. He started raining fucking blessings and rewards on you. Like, look at that.
Right.
Saturn, baby.
Yes.
Saturn. And mind you, what's Saturn in Aquarius is where we're at. So that's connections. That's legit. Aquarius connections. Like you earned that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I even have I had Jupiter in the 12th house, but then I think it moved back into my 11th or something like that. Um, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Look at
yeah.
that. That's a prime example. So you went into source, you went into spirit,
Hmm.
right? Like it says literally through spiritual discipline. Saturn, discipline, spiritual, 12th house. Come on now. We can't even make this shit up. Can't even make this shit up. And in that 12th house, it brought you back into the 11th, and 11th is what? It's where we get all our real gains. Gains don't come from the second house of money, right? That's not real gains. Gains is 11th house. That's Aquarius. That's the power of friendship.
Mm.
That's the power of connection. That's social currency.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. That's crazy. That's crazy because I was literally wondering to myself, like, how is this little Kazemi thing gonna play out if it's such a critical 29th degree and all this? All right, how's this gonna play out? And it's like, no, it played right out. Literally, I watched it play out. I was like, whoa. Like I know astrology is real, but I was just like, whoa, I'm watching it play out. Like that's crazy. So yeah, that was a huge turning point for me. And it just returned me back to self, back to source. And the source of what I was working on before, I just got blown on this windstorm of whatever the hell was going on. So I just feel very grateful. I have a lot of gratitude, a lot of love, and a lot of just creativity flowing through me. Like I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to get the rewards from Daddy Seti.
Daddy Saturn. Um, so, Jalisa, I'm a challenge your astrological information. I'm literally channeling through community, right? And
Yeah.
right now, I want to really consider myself more of the space and the platform, but I want to challenge you to also help the platform. I got somebody in the chat asking, uh, I'm a realist. Hello, how you doing? Thank you all for those thumbs up. Thank you for your attention. She has a Gemini sun. Okay, you just had a Gemini drop a gem on you, so hopefully you could drop
Right.
on her, right? She had Gemini sun in the 11th house.
Gemini Sun in the 11th house.
So that's already like big fame in its own way. Just the 11th house being in the sun is like, yo, you got
Right.
power through friendship, power through community, power through support. Hey, how you doing? So other than that, all right, she has a Libra rising. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see this. My sun, Gemini 11th, rising is Libra. Her moon is in the 8th house of Leo. Okay, that's the trick. That's the curveball. I was like, ooh, Leo moon in the 8th house. Oh, okay, my bad, my bad. I'm taking it back. She had to clarify. So she has a Gemini at the 11th degree. Go ahead, girl. Don't be shy. Give me the whole damn. Give me the thing. Give me like if you give me. I'm a realist. If you give me half the information, I can only give you. That's all I can give you back in result.
Right.
You better take advantage of this shit right now. Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. Give me the do. All right, so far we got a Gemini in the 11th degree. I got no house. Um, Libra is her rising sign.
Gemini 11th degree. So Aquarius.
Aquarius
Aquarius.
influence. Yep. Um, Moon is in the 8th. I'm trying to look what she's saying. I'm getting confused now. How is this affecting me? All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it simple from your Libra rising. Okay. Her sun is in the 9th. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's super helpful. Astrology is so precise that, like, It's like, what? We're doing math out here. Like I can't.
Right.
I'm missing pages, and I'm missing parts of the equation. So Gemini Sun is in the ninth house. Okay, Gemini ninth house at the 11th degree. That's something tangible. I can work with that. And she has a Libra rising. Her moon is in the 11th house at the 20th degree. Now we're talking. Okay, so we're going to stick with just those 1, 2, 3 elements, right?
Okay, Scorpio.
All right. Yep, Scorpio's degree in evolved consciousness, right? We have the 11th house moon at 20 degree. She's wondering, how is this affecting her? With a Gemini Sun, ninth house, a moon in the 11th house, loves to be in the 11th. Moon loves the 11th house, side note. Very positive aspect, or very positive placement. I don't know any
Wait. I thought her moon I thought her moon was in the 8th house.
Apparently me too. It kind of came conjuggle. You know, people typing on a cell phone, it could be tough. So I'm gonna do this right for you. I'm gonna type this in our chat. I'm gonna say Gemini, ninth house, so you can actually you can see it. And then we have the 11th degree. Okay, done. Okay, bam. So that's one. Now we have a Leo moon. We have the 11th house. Fuck, a Leo loves being in the 11th house moon, I'll tell you that. And then we have, that's at 20 degrees. Great. And I just typed that for you. And then the last we have is a Libra rising. Okay, which means an Aries descendant. Libra rising. Now, what I can tell you before Jaleesa even goes is that Libra rising, because of Taurus's influence and Uranus, you're transiting the 8th house. I know that already. 8th house is the transit in Uranus specifically. So, you know, shocks, revelations already coming up in either your sex life, your sexual energy, okay, how you share things with other people or how you don't. All right. And how you kind of, in a sense, being asked to push forward for a new sense of self-worth in the relationship dynamics, in your intimate relations. That's already just Taurus, separate. Saturn is going through your 5th house in Aquarius, okay? So off the rip, you know, you're being asked to, in a sense, have more fun or check in with what the self-discipline when it comes to fun or even, again, sex, all right? Friendships, your circles, your tribes, how you focus and express your creativity, the new thoughts, cardinal air, the new thoughts of your creativity, how you push those out. So that's already kind of things happening. So I hope that helped. But Jaleesa, what's your spin on this before Farrah gets up on the talk?
Okay. So what she's asking
is kind of how the Scorpio eclipse affecting her.
How's the Scorpio eclipse affecting her? She's a Libra rising, so she has Scorpio in the 8th house.
No. It would either be 12th or 2nd. I'm guessing second house is because Sagittarius rising is 12th house.
Yeah. Sorry, it would be the 2nd house. It's Libra, Scorpio. Yeah. So it would be the 2nd house. Okay. So I guess. Okay, let me not say I guess. Or I guess I don't. I'm just gonna. So
I'm here for the support. You can't go wrong. I'm here to support. You can't go wrong.
So it looks like if it's her 2nd house, it looks like it's affecting one, her personal finances. It looks like it's affecting maybe her sense of self-worth, her esteem, her well, let's see, because the wait, the South Node is in her 2nd house.
Yeah, so what is she letting go?
Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so the South Node's in the 2nd house. So that means the North Node would be in the 8th house. So she's probably letting go of
I'm gonna give you one more element. She just gave us a new plus. Her Scorpio is in the 2nd house. Her Pluto in Scorpio is also in the 2nd house. So we right on point.
She has Pluto in the 2nd house?
Ooh, it's Scorpio, baby. Come on now. Uh-oh.
Louise. And wait, and what did she said the degree for it or no? Well, I'm not gonna go that deep because I'm gonna leave that to you because I'm not even gonna act like
we didn't get no degree, but we're gonna leave it at Pluto in the 2nd for now. She said my bad. Her kids were bugging out. That's why she had to give a little bit by little.
Okay, so she has Pluto in the 2nd house. Oh man.
Oh,
Huge transformation. Okay, let's see. I would say she's moving towards the 8th house. So it looks like, let's see. She's moving from the 2nd. She's moving towards the 8th. Well, she's balancing them.
it's funny because her Pluto and Scorpio is also 8th degrees. So we just right.
Whoa, it's a
I know,
Scorpio
I know.
degree?
It's getting tricky as fuck.
Right. Maybe, okay, so she's moving towards 8th house qualities or scorpionic, I guess. So maybe merging, let's see, maybe marriage or of some sort, or
It can even be an energetic marriage, you know?
yeah, energetic marriage.
So like what is she marrying? It almost feels like there's a certain marrying of new values.
Yeah, like I'm saying integration, like we were talking about. Like
The
there may be,
integration factor.
yeah, something that she maybe need to integrate, maybe some shadow work or something. Or maybe let's see, sharing
Mm-hmm.
her resources or
Mm-hmm.
sharing let's see. I don't maybe someone, oh man, I feel like I'm butchering it maybe.
I know it's okay. I'm a boost you on it. I'm gonna boost you on it.
Okay, it's like maybe
Ready?
someone's coming in to like or someone's coming in to, I mean, she does have a lot of Pluto energy there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe someone's gonna, I don't know.
There's a
Um
power struggle. I'm gonna give you a boost. There's a power struggle that she's recognizing with her own sense of self-worth. If she was married, I heard she has kids already. So I mean, this is speculation, right? We don't actually know her. I don't know her specifically, but if she was married with kids, she may be coming in with the Venus Cazimi happens for her too, right? And it was in Libra going into Scorpio, so it's like she might have just had recently wild synchronizations between her and another person, a social dynamic that allowed her to push forward a new discussion, a new thought around her self worth and her value. Like getting ready to basically stand up against certain power dynamics,
mm,
any type of power struggle where she was energetically out of alignment in the exchange. And so this is clip for her is like it's telling her, hey, look, you know, let go of what you used to value about this marriage, let go of what you used to value about this form of therapy, whether therapy was a drug, okay, or a person, or anything taboo. If she has some taboo forms of therapy, maybe it was a tarot reading, right? It could be a taboo therapy form. Maybe it's asking her to
mhm,
let go of this tarot reader that you value because we got something better. And ultimately, it's like this is somehow, some way, it's giving her a renewed sense, a pure form of valuing herself, whatever the actual avenue. It's definitely a renewed sense. You know, she's having new thoughts, new ideas. They're cleaner, they're pure. Libra is like purification. So she
mhm,
purified the mind, she purified the intellect, she purified her own thoughts, and she's pushing forward for a cardinal new, something that she was once fixated on. So I definitely hope I'm gonna realize that
mm.
that helped out.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
power struggle from something she was fixated on because of
Yeah,
the
so
Taurus. Yeah.
yeah, Pharaoh, you in the party with us? What's up, girl?
What it do? What it do? Howdy, everybody.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's super dope. Pharaoh, is there anything that you feel like you want to channel for us on this Scorpio eclipse?
Ooh, I'm gonna try not to take it too personal, but
Take it personal, girl. Scorpio
um,
personal as hell.
so I
Right.
know for me personally, I tend to experience transits before they actually happen. So what happened for me leading up to this eclipse was I kind of shared this in a group, but I literally went through a bout of like paranoia and psychosis where like I was literally hearing and seeing things in the physical as they were transpiring in the spiritual. So and at this time, I know I found it difficult to communicate with others because everybody's not going to see how you see it. Everybody's not going to experience it how you experience it. So one of the things that through this eclipse that we want to be mindful of is who you're sharing with, who you are fighting with. Because just because, and I'm gonna go there, just because it's friends and family doesn't mean they're gonna be in your corner. Doesn't mean they're gonna understand or understand what you may be going through, no matter how much you try to communicate it. So those may not be the people who you turn to. Those might not be the people who can lean and depend on. As I hear, I came in like midway here, but as I hear Pluto, right? I hear Taurus, I hear Scorpio, that's that death and rebirth, like y'all were saying, with the values and how you view things, what you find significant in your life, and it's a complete restructuring of how you navigate through life at this time. I'm not. So the eclipse is when the sun is
being blocked out by the moon.
By the moon. Okay, I was there. Be confident. Be confident in your knowing, because what you see is real. What you hear is you're hearing it.
Can I add in that? Because it feels like I gotta say this. It's like, because you brought up the point. You mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's almost like our ego is being blocked out by our intuition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like where we used to derive a sense of power, the sun, power, authority, is being blocked out by the divine feminine. Globally.
Yeah.
Globally, the divine feminine is in charge. And I'm gonna give it back to you. I'm gonna give you the mic back. Take it from there. I'm having fun. This shit is fun.
Yeah. So with that
gave some like that was like some what?
Yeah, like
right.
You're scratching the head right there. So like I'm in motion right now. I'm literally in motion, and we are also being called to be still, because the eclipse is something that happens kind of slowly. It isn't a fly by night kind of thing. This is something where you're asked to pay attention in this moment, right? The divine feminine. What is feminine? It's darkness. It's nurturing. It's loving. But when your ego is being blocked by your intuition, you're gonna have some resistance, because we live in a very egoic world, realm, right? So now you're being asked to actually go within yourself and allow you to be led by your inner power. Not about what you physically see, right? Not about what you physically hear, but there's something beyond that. So trust, like I said, trust your knowing, trust your inner knowing, and allow that to be your guiding light. I used to run. I used to feel like I was running from traumatic experiences. But this time around, like, I had to go in order to save my life, literally. Because I was in such a place mentally where if I did not leave that space, I was going to mentally die, because I was unable to really get a grip and a hold on what was transpiring right in front of me.
I gave that example to Jasmine from the Abundant Reality, and I want to say shout out to both of y'all for joining that Abundant Reality. Real talk. Remember when Jasmine was from Arkansas, and I had another client from Arkansas too. Remember when I think I told y'all one time I was in Arkansas and I had an Airbnb to stay after like meeting one of my one-on-one clients, and then I gave up. I lost my monetary investment to take care of my mental and my spiritual health, because I was too exposed on a watery level, like on an intuitive level. I was too exposed to the violence and the death that happened a little while.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, look, it's not worth it. I drove 3 hours home
Mm-hmm.
and I let go of my financial investment because my intuition was like, if I look at it from an ego standpoint, I would be like, man, I'm an Aries. I can handle this shit. And
Yeah.
then, but the Cancer within me was like, bro, this is so deep ancestry in Arkansas.
Mm.
You don't need this slavery trauma. That's still, the mindset is just very unconscious there,
Yeah.
and it was like that embrace of like, look, the divine feminine wins right
Yeah.
now. Period.
And that's that balance. That's that balance because with you being an Aries, yes, you can handle the smoke. You was literally built for the smoke, but it
So
doesn't necessarily mean that you always gotta be the one with the sword in your
it
hand.
ain't necessary, bro. I'm done fighting. I swear to God, I'm done. I give the fight up. This for me, part of the South, the Scorpio eclipse has been a lot of that. As a Scorpio rising myself, it's been about legit surrendering in the ways in which I used to do battle. Because
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio is still Mars, right? So Scorpio is still in that Mars energy, feminine or not, it's still Mars. So it's still war driven. It's just more strategic. And it's like for me, in a counter contrast, it's been about surrendering the ways in which I've built up so much pressure, so much steam, Scorpio, fixed waters, how we used to build up so much steam until it blew. And then I'm like, I want to go to war one on one, mano a mano. Matter of fact, I want to
Mm.
go 1 versus 10, and I'm gonna take all you. But the problem was, it didn't matter if I survived. The win wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth winning. It was not worth winning.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
bro, great. You proved yourself, right? Like you proved
Mhm.
yourself. You beat 10
To
people
who?
versus one.
To who? Who you proving yourself to?
Who the fuck am I
Why are
proving?
you proving
Exactly.
yourself? Why are you
Exactly.
proving yourself? You Aries. What's there to prove?
I don't know. I like this is where, if I look at my own chart, this is where I had to learn how much of an impact Cancer had and the nostalgia of like ancestry as a black person. It's like
Uh-huh.
just to almost like the proving kind of came from like an ancestral proving of like Kanye is struggling with this right now. Kanye,
Mhm.
I love Kanye. I'm not gonna lie to you, I love him.
Me
Like
too.
he's standing for so many beautiful things that no one even understands the heat that he's voluntarily taking, and he doesn't have to,
Yeah.
but he's choosing to. So for that, I love him in so many ways, and in other ways, I'm also seeing where him and I separate in a different level. And I looked at his chart. I did the review, so check the Kanye West astrology. But he is here on his lifetime to do what I used to try to do, ancestral wise, that I'm not supposed to do. Like my spiritual demon,
Yeah.
I'm not here to fight that ancestral battle on the human plane. It's just not. It's not what I'm supposed. It's not my life cycle. No matter how much I'm attached to it. So if I look at it like that, I had to realize how Cancer was really running my Aries and my Scorpio in a way where like I've been so nostalgic, Cancer, all my life, where when I came into a certain power, I wanted to use my power to fucking lead the charge against these injustices. But I
Yeah.
had to realize like I have a different role. Kanye really is actually in alignment by running his role, and he's just gonna get
Yeah.
smoked. It's his life cycle. That's what he chose to live. But I chose to do it in a form of what I've understood as artistic activism, which is
Okay.
I'm not on the front line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the public eye fighting against racism specifically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm artistically activating
Mm-hmm.
the push just because I'm black. Period. Like I am black. Like I'm an actual representation of a black male.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't need to fight the public precisely, like, head on like an Aries. Instead, it's about Scorpio rising. That's me rising. And Scorpio has the ability to command the entire army of everyone interpersonal on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like me drawing and magnetizing the right connections. This is part of what the Scorpio eclipse is for me. Learning how to not go mano a mano, head on head, Aries, and instead embrace the feminine qualities of Mars, that Martian energy was like, look, I'm just going to attract. Look what I'm doing right now. What am I doing right now? I'm literally dispersing by having Jalicia and Pharaoh
Yeah.
and opening it up
Yeah.
to other people. Y'all are speaking.
Yeah.
You are energetically putting into this message, and it's not all me. I'm not fighting by myself anymore. You understand?
Yeah.
So this is what the Kazemi had kind of brought to me, but at a level that has accelerated that understanding and the acceptance that it's not my battle alone.
And you've built that structure. You've built that. So, like you just mentioned, being able to attract the crowds of the army. Correct me in the wording of what you're saying, but you've built the structure to where you literally don't have to fight alone. And the way that you did that is you poured into each and every one of us who were a part of that abundant reality, where we were going through our own individual, growth and struggles and all that within that process. But I know for me, the confidence that I gained from being able to share with others and speak my truth unapologetically. Let's use all the trigger words, right? But to do that, I'm in a place now where when I came into this new space, I came into this new space abundant. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that looks like. Day 2, I walked into an estate. Oh, yes.
Ooh,
yes. I was riding a horse through a neighborhood in my dreams the other night, and it was just so prophetic. But so I came into this space. Day 2, being in this space, I walked into an establishment, and I walked in being exactly what they needed. I didn't know that. I went in there just to ask for pricing so that I can come back at a later date. I literally received the service for free. But energetically, I was there to help continue to shift that dynamic. They're in the process of hiring, bringing on new people, and their communication and how things transpiring within that space is showing me a whole new perspective of what it looks like to build a team. What it looks like to create a community experience within and outside of the workplace.
Where is Scorpio in your chart?
Scorpio, second. Let me 1 second.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm curious because of how you kind of like commanded that army.
Pluto Scorpio. I know for sure it's Pluto Scorpio. For sure.
You Libra rising?
Yes.
So 5th house? No. That don't make no sense.
Libra rising. No. So doesn't she have it in the second? The second.
I think it's second. I want to say Pluto 2nd house Scorpio.
Bro,
that's all.
Jalicia, talk about the consistency. I had Cam on here talking about he's Scorpio 2nd house. I had Amaryllis. I hope I pronounced that name properly because I like to say names the right way.
Right.
How do you say Amaryllis? Amaryllis?
Amaryllis? That's what it sounds like to me.
I hope I said it properly. Even if I didn't, forgive me. But whatever it is, that's 3. So what is already being revealed and asked of us to see as a collective. That's kind of like all these Scorpio 2nd houses on this eclipse is on this particular transmission, this particular live. But what about that is spirit, the world, intuition? Jalicia, I'm gonna ask you that. What is it trying to reveal to us as a collective?
I'm going to go with the first word that popped in my head, which was to surrender. Yeah, that's the first word that came in my head, just because there's all these Libra risings, and you were talking about the power struggles. To surrender, let go. And in doing that, that's where you will find your own personal power.
So I had to highlight this picture. I ain't even got a lot on here, but this one wanted to come up, right? Feminine energy. Look at some of the natural qualities here. This is natural feminine, right? when I see it. What we got? Which one? Which word?
Surrender.
Surrender. I was like, which word is talking to us the most? When it comes to eclipses, I try to tell people, look, we ain't got shit to manifest. Like, stop manifesting. This is not what you manifest. You don't manifest on an eclipse. You fucking let go.
Right.
Like, literally, you let go and you let God. And that's been the consistent message. I mean, I got my lickings on that shit too. Like, let go and let God. It ain't nothing for me to do.
Right.
I ain't got shit to do. What am I here to do? I ain't gonna do nothing. I can't do nothing. I'm not advanced enough in this human body, okay, to try to pretend like I know what the fuck is coming. I'm not gonna try to tell you that. Oh, hey, here's what we're going through. Fuck, what? Like, really? It's like, look, shut the fuck up, P, and listen. I think
Right,
listen
even-
is one of those. So, but let's look at this as well. What's the wounded feminine looking like? Damn.
Powerless, weakness,
talk about it.
manipulation,
Let's talk about it.
Codependence. Yeah.
neediness. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Withholding. I had to realize for me as a Scorpio rising, withholding, you know, this is the part where they speak about secrets or being private.
Mm-hmm.
That's the withholding. That's the wounded feminine of Scorpio. Is like, we will want something, right? We have a desire and we expect that from our partner. We expect that from somebody else, but we're withholding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking about that myself. I say I'm right here on that. Like,
Yeah.
how many different scenarios have I withheld information because it provided a certain sense of safety? This is Scorpio's psychic abilities of manipulating a room.
I was just about to say, yeah, that is definitely a form of manipulation.
Because people want to know, and we know that people want to know.
Yeah.
And it's what
Sometimes even in a way to have in a toxic sense, in a way to even like can like maintain power. People like withhold love, you know,
power
from your partner. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, this is what some of my shadow relationships have shown. It was like, damn. And whatever shadow relationship aspect through dating that have shown like, oh, somebody withholding their love, it's like, damn, the reflection is that's what I did. I held my love.
Yep.
And that's the wounded feminine, because from there, if I withhold my love, right? If I withhold my love, then I don't have to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I don't have to show the sensitivity. I can just sting. I don't have to show my sensitive insides. Okay, I don't have to show that creamy, milky goodness. I could just withhold information and I'm safe. Yet, while I'm safe, I'm also isolated and alone.
Exactly.
It's the illusion of that safety.
No, it's actually not even an illusion. You're legit safe, but you're alone.
No, you're safe, but you're alone.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not being vulnerable. You're not allowing yourself to like
I'm trapped.
You know, like exactly, just like I was saying.
I'm trapped. I made my own case.
Okay.
I'm
just like the gate.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the illusion that I'm speaking of. The being trapped, to be alone, to be isolated, to
Well, I'm saying
so removed.
I'm saying if you just like the heart of being the gateway, like it's like like if you leave it open, anything could get in, good or bad, but you lock that bad boy shut, nothing's gonna get in, good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing in?
Yeah, you might be nothing in, nothing out. You know, so it's
nothing
like
in, nothing out. That's the key. Because there's nothing in, there's nothing out. Both.
There's
both
no,
ways.
but there's no flow then.
So that's
now, like you've dammed yourself pretty much. That's what a river dam is. Like it stops the flow.
What is it? What is Scorpio? What kind of water?
Fixed.
That's fixed water. That's how the water gets dirty. If water doesn't have a way to move, it gets dirty.
Exactly.
That's why it's sewer water. That's sewer water. That's the definition of Scorpio water. It's like, yeah, you safe in. Yeah, nobody can get in, but you also can't get out. I can't get out. As a Scorpio rising myself, it's like, I also cannot get out. So this is, Pharaoh talked earlier about psychosis.
That's even how water cleans itself or even cleanses itself. Like it has to move. Like river water is clean because it's moving.
Boom.
You know,
that's psychosis.
Yeah.
That's the key. So it's like whoever is going through psychosis, understand that that's the key. That is psychosis. The water is stuck. The intuition is stuck. So if you just have, first off, you can't get new forms of intuition from your guidance, from your guides, angels, unicorns, dragons, animals. Everybody's locked out. Understand that you can't pick and choose. With Scorpio Eclipse, you can't pick and choose who gets in and who gets out. If you shut off, everything is gone, good and bad. You can't experience joy without depression.
True. Yes.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even experience anger without bliss. Like, you either accept them all or you get nothing. This is the depth.
Yes.
This is the depth of a Scorpio's emotions. Like, the depth, the purity is about embracing that there's no such thing as light and dark aspects. It's like, look, they're all a part of you. Like, you don't get to just choose the light.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting.
Dark Lake. What's up, Mia? I'm sorry. Jaleesa, definitely say that. I want to say real quick to all the new people. I see a couple of new people in here. Corey Ann, Miss Taylor, Mia Smith. Okay, I've never seen any before. Corey, Scorpio Moon, South Node Scorpio. Welcome all to the channel. I want to say, thank you, bless you. If y'all got those Scorpio placements, I got an emoji special for y'all in case y'all happen to want to be a part of that. Standardly, these chats are not open. On days like this, when I feel like collectively we need a lot of healing, collectively we need to get together, I like to go ahead and open the chats, whether you're a member or not. So, standardly, I love to do these chats. I love to get in and with y'all, but I want to let y'all know, if it ain't something so intense like an eclipse where motherfuckers need to talk, okay, then generally it's cut off. So I wanna say that this particular Scorpio event, this eclipse, I am not doing anything, but I'm doing a special webinar. I believe right now it's only $19. If you're a member, you get it for $0. So I just want to shoot that out loud. If you're a member, you get it for $0. But on November 6th, 2 days before the Taurus eclipse, I am doing a webinar and I will be answering personal questions. And all the things you're seeing right now between Jaleesa and Pharaoh and myself, there's going to be a lot more of y'all on that call, and it's not going to be live. It's going to stay private. It's going to stay behind closed doors. And it's a place where I think that I know that we get to really experience the well of what it means to come to a full moon conclusion. Because remember, this is still a new moon. So as much as things are closing, it's only closing because it's an eclipse. And that's what happens when the moon wanes. So the actual full moon is the full closure, right? This is starting new manifestations for 6 months out, all right? The full moon in Taurus is happening November 8th. And on the 6th, we will be doing an event. We'll be having an event. So I'm going to drop the link in case y'all want to do it. Like I said, it's going to be a webinar. We're going to be live. It's going to be about 3 hours. I'm going to let y'all know now. So if you have the time, you have the time. I'm going to drop it here. You're going to see it says Taurus full moon eclipse. And I want to go ahead and give that mic back to Jaleesa. What were you about to say, baby girl?
What was I gonna? When you were talking about just the wide spectrum of emotions, like there's like no good or bad, like it's all a part of it. It's all or nothing, it's all a part of us. And I was saying, you have to check out that movie. I literally watched it like earlier this morning, but that movie on Netflix, The School of Good and Bad, or something like that. Where they, what was it? They basically learned that my train of thought, it's taken off. Let me gather my thoughts. I'll come back. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. If you close your eyes, right? If you turn the sun off because the sun is blocked right now, and you just embrace the feminine, the divine feminine intuition, what is being received through you? Pharaoh, this is for you as well. Mm-hmm. What is being received through you as I create a platform, right? I'm hosting you from a platform. The direction, the purpose of this call is already in alignment. So you don't need to focus on where you're going. If you focused on receiving and feeling as a woman, as a divine feminine, more connected than myself, what message is coming through you from your God, from your gods, from your guides, both of you, that the people need to hear? Because this is what it means to have a solar eclipse. The sun is blocked. I, as the masculine, the sun masculine, we're blocked. I am just the platform in the moment. I am here, in a sense, to serve the feminine. And that is about creating a receptive and safe space. Everything outside of this space, I will slay without your concern. So it's like, what is coming through you that we need to receive as a collective? Any one of you, any one of you.
What I hear is that I'm supported. I was asked to be still today, and I still chose to move because I felt like I needed to take action. And as soon as I did, like, it took me a while to actually literally get out of the house today. But I did some things for myself first. I've been studying with my partner the Bible and different things like that. And it actually is in alignment with what you spoke about when it comes to building a team. We've been reading 2 Chronicles 20 through 36. And it just literally talks about the structure of the church and what that looks like, but not just the church, but building a team and setting up for those who will actually do the slaying. So it speaks right now that I'm supported in the decisions that I make because I'm being led and guided by God himself or their self. And as long as I continue to obey and be consistent in that, it looks different for everybody. We just talked about, right and wrong and what that looks like. It looks different for everybody, but I've been called to be still in a time where I feel like I have so much that I need to do, but here I am because I've created a space, right? And I moved when I was asked to move, and now I'm in a place to where now I can literally be still. I was able to come back to the house and sit and be here and be in this moment without being in motion. So know that you, like myself, are supported. And if you're being asked to be still, if you're being asked to slow down and take that time to do the things that you desire most, do those things. And everything else outside of that, like P just said, will be handled. It will be taken. I actually received some funds today that I didn't expect to receive.
Wait. Let's give it a love.
So
everybody in the chat, celebrate her for receiving those unexpected funds, because everybody knows how good that feels, and give out that good feeling. All right.
Yeah. So just know, no matter how small, how great, it's just a taste. It's just a taste. So continue on the path, continue to listen, continue to be open and go within, and know that you, like myself, are supported.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of what Farrell was saying, I would also say that it's just a message of divine guidance as well. One thing that I've realized is that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I don't need to worry about where I'm going or what's going on, or like I just trusting my process. I'm just getting messages to believe in myself and to trust myself, to trust the process and trust the journey, and just like to enjoy the journey for what it is, like the journey itself and getting there, and that ultimately it's a divine guidance to, what does it say? The journey is the destination.
Right.
And when it comes to that destination, it's like I'll say I thought, yes, it's obviously physically taking us somewhere, towards our path but ultimately that path, I'm realizing, is just a journey back to self, and it's journey back to self over and over and over, many times over again, just with a new understanding and depth and
Scorpio.
a new way of a new perspective, new growth. But it's always going to circle right back into that figure 8, back to self.
That is it. Yeah. Everybody on the other side of the screen, just clap, okay? Watch how the energy raises. Everybody, we all need so much support on an eclipse like this. And the thing is about Scorpio is it doesn't have to be done alone. That's the whole point. So energetically, you're putting in the universe to synchronicity, okay? To just clap for yourself, because you know what? You didn't die yet. In all sincerity, this is the type of energy that clips motherfuckers that are not living in authenticity, who are not living in integrity. People get clipped for this energetically, daily. Okay? So it's like, not every one of those deaths are going to be physical, and the majority of them are metaphysical. The majority of them are at a soul level. Okay? Asking us to embrace this ego death. And that's what it means to have the sun blocked out by the moon. It's like, sure, mano y mano, the sun, in a sense, will evaporate the moon. Yet, and still, the sun respects being blocked out by the divine feminine, Isis, the moon, fucking, I can't even remember in other religions the moon energy. So I'm gonna skip it out right now. But the moon, through so many cultures, is always revered, and even the sun allows itself to be blocked by such an energy without overexerting and heating up to essentially wither the moon away. There's a very clear understanding of the relationship in every culture of the world. Okay, you got Horus, Set, and Isis. If I just take Egyptian culture, and they work in unison. Okay, the underworld, the light, and the shadow of ourselves. Okay, the shadow of our intuition, if you will, Isis. So, this is really mad. Hello, Israel. Thank you for being here. Oh, Israel, what's up? Oh, yeah, what's up, girl? We got people checking in from Israel. This is super awesome. Okay, I've been wanting to go to Israel too, so I gotta hit you up. Listen, the message I got right here. And in the meanwhile, while I give this message, Jalecia, Pharaoh, if any channel messages come on, you feel like you need to speak, understand that I appreciate it personally. I personally appreciate your channel. This rabbit tells us and asks us very clearly, there's a story of the rabbit and the ego. And the ego has no idea that the rabbit even exists. But the rabbit is in so much fear about what has happened to all the other rabbits, to all the other inhabitants on Earth. The ego soars above as the king or the queen of the skies. And the rabbit keeps telling these stories about how it's going to just get eaten by the ego. It's going to get swooped up by the ego. And one day, the ego just hears it through the winds. It gets communicated through the wind. And the ego is like, man, that's a great fucking idea. That is a good idea. So eventually, the ego swoops down and grabs up the rabbit. So how does this apply in real life? And I want to open y'all to that. I want to open y'all to the interpretation without getting too deep. Okay, we're not about definitions. We're not about exactness. What do you feel from that story that people will benefit from when it comes to the rabbit on this eclipse?
Be mindful of what you're speaking. You're asking for it. You're asking for the ego to come sweep you down. The more and more you put that energy towards those thoughts.
Yeah.
I would also say that for the Scorpio, I know that Pluto energy is like fear. And one thing I do know about fear is the more you don't want something to happen, the more afraid of something you are, the more sure you can bet that it's going to come and find you. You're going to attract it towards you. It's coming.
Yeah, that was that psychosis. That was that psychosis for me. It's like the things I was paying attention to, the things that I feared to happen, my God showed me. It's right in front of you. It's literally right in front of you. If you want it so bad, here you go.
I forgot about this. Okay, ready? This is the first thing the rabbit card says. Afraid of everything. Bruh, what? It's like afraid of everything. What?
Right.
Everything?
Even what you were saying, just like even like moving in that fear, that's ego, moving in your ego. But like in a,
let's check the ego. What is masculine energy?
Projection.
Projective, active, giving, expansive, outward.
That's the natural masculine energy. None of those are positive or negative. Right there.
Right, exactly.
On this top half, because I know we like to think projection is like, a negative thing. Oh, he's projecting onto me. It's not that simple, right? Masculine energy.
It's just the projection is just a reflection of what's going on the inside, whether that's good or bad, or positive or negative.
Right. So let's check in now with the natural masculine.
So when you fear, you want to protect.
Ooh.
You create boundaries. Your focus on what though? You rock your stability.
So mind you, right? We all have masculine and feminine energy in us. If you know your zodiac, if you know your signs, you can understand what's the focus. If you know your degrees, if you know your houses, you can understand what's the focus of this projection, this activity, this giving, right? Leo gives differently than a Libra, all right? Libra gives differently, okay, than a Sagittarius. So it's like you have, and then each of these degrees, each of these aspects, they all change. They all change. So these are some of the naturals. Now let's check in with the wounded masculine, okay? What happens when a man or masculine energy is wounded?
Abuse of power, control, criticism, avoidance,
Unstable, confrontational.
I bet we confuse some of these with feminine energies, huh? I bet we confuse some of these with feminine. And so we all thinking, oh, you know, all the, and I say this with all I say this with all disrespect. Damn, I'm so aggressive, huh? I say this with all respect. Think about how many women, and I say this with 2 women on my call, how many women complain about men. So what are we complaining about, the men or the men in this instance? The reflection of what masculine has been ignored within a woman. And I know this happens.
Say that again. Say that again.
Right? I'm gonna say it again because I know this happens vice versa. So I'm gonna say that as a claim up front. Are women who would complain about traits or attributes of a man being abusing his power, dominant, he's aggressive, he's controlling, he's not supporting me, he's avoiding me, he's confrontating, he's criticizing, he's abusing me emotionally, he's unstable. Is that really happening with that male, or is that happening with the masculine energy within the female? Because right, how often are women in general complaining about a man ain't shit? That's like the fucking saying, right? A man ain't shit. So what's happening? What's really happening? And how can we shift when it comes to shifting in a divine feminine manner? How can we shift? And I'm speaking specifically in the moment to women, and we can obviously switch this to male because it's the same. It's different. It's the same but different, right? On the opposite side, males are going through the same shit. But I know there's a tremendous amount of women that rock with this channel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I want to speak to actually who's here.
I would say redirect that focus, because a lot when you're complaining, right, you are pointing the finger at whatever you're complaining about, but whatever you're complaining about has touched you so deeply within your soul, because that is something that is within you that you don't like about yourself, but you don't recognize it as a self thing, because we have been, I'm going to say, programmed so much to focus on what is going on around us that we have lost touch with the self, and knowing that all these things we're experiencing, I am experiencing my experiences. I am complaining about whatever it is I'm complaining about. So what about that is that what is the natural projection of that? So what am I projecting? What masculine energy within me am I projecting onto the male figure, right, as to divert that from being what I need to work on?
That's the part. I swear to God, that's that part. And when we come into the acceptance of the realization of that, there's a phase, not an infant in prison. There's a phase where that shit hurts. So when I think Scorpio eclipse, like, this is a part of it in the South Node. South Node is in Scorpio, so there's a phase of what's the purity of what trauma has happened in our lives? What's the purity of the trauma? The Scorpio, the purity of the trauma, so that we can, in a sense, tap that and transform that. Okay, to take action and cut that, because Mars cuts. And it takes action. It takes action, and the action is cutting. So how can we cut that trauma? By seeing the most purest form of what this reflection is showing us. And that's a lot of the Scorpio eclipse.
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt. It's definitely going to involve some pain. Some they say truth hurts. It's gonna involve some truth, and that's gonna be a little hard to. It's gonna be painful, but it's going to crack you wide open to allow your to allow the source of who you are, the truth of who you are, to emerge.
Yeah.
But gonna have to face some uncomfortable truths about self, do some reflection, do some shadow work.
Shadow
I
work.
personally connect to that on a very, very, very deep level. So yeah,
So right, like I'm not off the chopping block, right? Me myself, what has come through for me is I legit had my guys pull up and they were like, "Yo, you got time to do some shadow work, homie." Like it was so straight, and I was like, "Right, you right, fuck it." Right? Like it felt like that. It was like all the time. Like it felt like that. But there was this other part where like I've somewhere along the journey, it's like I began to fear the dark. It almost is like I was so afraid of the dark at a point. I'm like, man, like the second half of the year, I don't want to go in it. Like I'm having fun. It's almost like I'm having fun on earth. Like I'm having fun in the light. I'm having fun in the sun, fun under the sun. And it's like, damn, you want me to go back in the dark again? And it felt like that, I'll be honest.
Wow.
Now, when they told me, they said, don't be afraid of the dark. My guys, they told me, said, don't be afraid of the dark. And there's this sense of peace and serenity that has come over me, where I recognize that I was going after shadow work and I was projecting the wrong reality. Okay. Right. So I was looking at what traumatic shit have I not dealt with? What do I need to go through? I want to go through with a full head of steam. I'm like, what do we need to take out? And the reality was the shadow work was vulnerability, sensitivity, okay, being receptive. It was all feminine traits. It was, I had a wound, I have currently, and I'm currently working through, what are my inner female wounds? What is the little girl within inside of me as a male asking for? Why is she mad? Why is she angry? Why is she making herself so present? Why is she experiencing rage? Why is she sick of being ignored? And the simplicity is I did not allow enough space for vulnerability. And this is me as a Scorpio rising. It's literally what we had said earlier, right? I shut myself in this self-protective shell where, great, no one can hurt me anymore. No one can ignore my feelings. No one can hurt. You know what I'm saying? But what's the problem? I put myself in that shell.
You're doing that to yourself, though. Now
I put my prison on me. That's
no
the reality.
empathy. Not
There's
empathizing.
there's no one outside of me to look at. That's the simple reality. It's like, look, P, your shadow work now is about standing for that little girl the same way I would stand for any other little girl in danger. If I ever saw a little girl in danger, I will kill somebody with my bare hands.
Right.
I will kill them with my bare hands. But I wasn't willing to do the same thing for myself. That's a problem.
Absolutely.
That's a true problem. That's a real fucking problem. So when I saw it, you know, my guys had to show it to me like that. And when I see it like that, I'm like, damn. That's how the Venus Cazimi hit me. That's how the Scorpio Eclipse is asking me to let go. It's like me letting go of believing that there's all this dark, traumatic shit that I have to deal with. The reality is I'm a sign of light. Literally, I'm a symbol of light. That's the simple reality. But other people can see that so much more clearly than I could. I saw darkness. You know, I saw trauma. I saw pain. I saw these things that I have to fight. I didn't see the importance of embracing my sensitivities, especially as a male. Embracing my sensitivities, embracing my vulnerabilities, especially as a male. You know what I'm saying? Embracing these parts. That for me is the shadow assignment. And so when I was able to kind of reframe that understanding, okay, I'm no longer projecting fears that are out of alignment. These are
Yeah.
fears that have actually already been conquered, so I'm gonna keep looping. And that's what it means to be fixed. This is what it means to be fixed. I kept looping the wrong shadow work that was out of alignment. I didn't need shadow work in this area. So that's why it's like I'm finishing the shadow work so quickly. I've already done it. Like it's not, I'm doing the wrong, I'm out of alignment. I was out of alignment. So in alignment for me was, hey, here's this challenge that you actually are in fear of. You're actually afraid of being vulnerable. You're
Yep.
actually afraid of not having to fight to be right.
Can I say something?
Please.
A word that was popping up to me as you were talking was just like boundaries, because just because there may be somebody who has like no boundaries, and then somebody
Right.
who's like overly exerting the boundaries, I guess to say, or whatever. But like,
Right.
just because you're like super nice or you're super mean, it doesn't mean that you have boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You can still be uh, kind and loving and all of those things and still set boundaries. And one thing I realized, I know we were talking one time about how an interaction that I was having with a friend, per se, was
Right.
really not my friend. It was really my mother. It was really the psychological and like unconscious beef childhood beef that was, that I needed to take care of or handle, um, or just make aware, basically, and acknowledge. And I realized that a situation recently had popped up, and I realized that, like, wow, okay, this is the time for me to kind of set a boundary in this situation with my mother. And I realized in doing that, I kind of got a little angry and upset, and I had to stop and ask myself, like, why are you so aggressive? Why are you so angry? Why are you so whatever? You haven't even stepped up to the situation yet to even say anything, but you're already super angry and mad and ready to do all this other stuff, ready to cut people off, all kinds of stuff. Why are you acting like this? And I thought about it, and I was like, oh, it's fear. It's fear that's at the bottom of that, and that's yeah. Yeah, that wounded, what is it? The wounded masculine, aggression.
I
Um,
don't know. I'm looking too.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
But
aggression.
also
Yeah.
wounded feminine as well. A little bit of powerlessness.
Yeah.
Over emotional as
Yeah,
well.
over emotional. Yeah, a lot of those things were coming out, and I was just like, wow, it's really just because even my friend was like, you haven't even had the conversation yet. You don't even know how it's gonna go or how they're gonna respond or whatever.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just made up this whole thing, and I just got angry about it, whatever, because I was afraid. I realized that I'm afraid. I was afraid to set this boundary with this person. I was afraid to stand up. I was afraid to like. I was afraid that to this person, no wouldn't be a complete sentence. They wouldn't respect, you know what I'm saying? The boundary that I put in place for me. Um,
No,
um,
I fully I recognize that for myself as well. True talk. It's like I had this association that if I set clean and clear boundaries, that this is exactly the moment that I get abandoned.
Absolutely. Like I felt like if it was a fear, because I felt like, okay, if you do say no, what's going to happen to you? What's going to be like in my head? It's like I see the CoStar app put it perfectly. They said subconsciously I see confrontation as violent. I have Aries in the 12th house, so confrontation is just like no. It's violent, inherently like violent to me. And I'm
Mm,
just like, what's gonna happen to me if I say no, just because I want to say no, or I don't want to do that or whatever. It's like, yeah, will I be abandoned? Will I be like, all these negative things or consequences I feel will come from me standing up for myself. You know what I'm saying? That I'm just like, it's gonna cause me to, it's like, I do that, or do I compromise myself? You know?
Yo, so when you said that, it's like I recognized it as like the moments, and this is what I had to realize. Like, here's my inner child work. It's like I associated setting a boundary with an irrational reaction from who I set the boundary with. It's almost like the moments that I set the boundary, the replicating behaviors and relationships was the reaction would be completely irrational. And so I would almost preemptively avoid, which is a wounded masculine, I think it said, right? I would preemptively avoid the confrontation of setting a boundary because it's like, damn, like all I'm trying to do is love myself. And every time I try to love myself by setting a boundary, there's something in return that does not equate and is not appropriate for the situation at hand.
Absolutely.
Somebody gonna fucking comment on that one. I swear to God.
Absolutely.
Somebody just fucking Somebody was like, "Oh my God, it's too true. It's just too much." This is Scorpio, baby. Welcome to Scorpio season. We all about that real shit, okay?
And that's why that's what the Scorpio I realized, like letting go. Because one thing I had to realize, I had to like I chose myself in that situation. I was like, no matter what it feels like, no matter how my nervous system flares up or whatever, I'm like, you gotta choose you, Jew, and you have to and if anybody is, because I realized that some people, I'm not talking about anybody in particular now, but I guess some people are comfortable with the version of you that doesn't set a boundary or that doesn't stand up for themselves because they can gain from it. Do you know what I mean? That they're benefiting off of you not having any self-love or self-respect or boundaries for yourself, and they benefit off of that. So I realized that I'm like, some of those relationships, I have Pluto in the 7th house, some of those relationships have to go because it's a situation where it's like it's you or them, and I realize that I don't empathize with myself when I what is the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like just the inner child, where it's like you would stand up for somebody else basically, but you wouldn't stand up for yourself. Absolutely. So I'm like, no, I'm going to choose me. And if that version of me choosing myself doesn't work with you, but then I guess our time is done. It's exhausted. You know, we've exhausted this specific relationship. Not saying that something new can't grow from the ashes of us deading this, but this relationship as we have it right now, it has to die. It has to die.
That's the definition of a situationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the situation will last as long as it is allowed to go on. I mean, right? Like, think about it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
what you're allowing will continue. Absolutely. And it's just like when it's just like that. Actually,
it's a situationship.
Yeah,
it's a situationship. You said it. You literally said the word.
Yes, it's exactly that. Because I was thinking, like, even like in a relationship, so to speak, or whatever, and it's like if somebody's getting all these like you said, the women, like they were complaining about the men not committing or not marrying and stepping up and doing this, but I've heard from the man's side, and they're just like, well, if I'm getting all these wife benefits, from my girlfriend, and she's doing all these things, whatever, what's the point of marrying her? I'm already getting everything. There's no, you know what I mean? And so the women are thinking by people pleasing or by giving him more and more and more of what he wants, they will have to, that's wounded, they have to prove themselves, or they have to not just prove themselves, they have to I don't know the word I'm looking for, put on a show, basically perform for love, instead of realizing that like that they are enough, and at the and they what am I saying? I guess causing them to be a less authentic version of themselves, or being whatever that other person wants them to be, instead of sticking true.
You won't see that here, but that's one of the divine feminine wounds. It's actually inauthenticity is a wound of the divine feminine when she's being inauthentic. So you won't see that on this list specifically, but it is one of them. I have an actual manual list on this wall.
Really?
Yeah,
And
literally, like it stays up. I'm trying to constantly remind myself, and I think it's very helpful. Okay, here I'm gonna show it briefly because oh crap. So this paper right here is actually
mm-hmm.
the left and the right is like divine feminine, divine masculine, and Eileen actually went ahead and did this, and I find that it's been game changer when it comes to being in a partnership with somebody and actually having the identifications of the light and the shadow aspects. I highly recommend people want to know about tactical and practical mechanisms as you hit that thumbs up on this motherfucking video. It's all
Do that.
about um making it clear, being real, keeping it honest, but just pin it there. So now it becomes that much tougher to involve yourself in a situationship, right? Because it's like, look, you're recognizing in real time. There's no reflection period. It's now becoming a part of my instincts, becoming part of my partner's instinct of, look, it's super clear. We ain't got much questions. You know, when you in that, you get into a discussion, you get into some disagreements and discord, and your relationship dynamic, and it's like, something's off, but you don't even know what the fuck it is. It's like, look, now you pinning that on your wall, the light and the shadow of both masculine and feminine. It's like, it's very much hard for your boundaries. It's that much harder for your boundaries to get crossed. And people who are unintentionally or unconsciously acting
Mm-hmm.
in their shadow aspects are on their own. And this is what I've been realizing in real time, are on their own wanting to address and step back into the light. Because when we really look at it, like as human beings, we're not innately evil. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
nobody wants to just
Right.
wake up evil every day. Like nobody really wants to do that. It's just a point where like we get so lost sometimes in the sauce, right? There's so many things to get distracted by. Where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
are we really concerning ourselves or when we are acting in our light or in our dark masculine or feminine energies? No. So it's like, in order to be practical, it's like you're not innately evil. You're not inherently evil. You just lost your way. So I find that by placing that up, I'm able to have more clear cut conversations and also separate projections and realize, damn, this is not real. Actually, this has nothing to do with me. Even better. This is not my shadow right now. This is a
Yeah.
shadow being projected onto me. And so, as all of us as human beings are empaths, I no longer need to openly accept this. I can more clearly set boundaries with this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that this is something that shifted. I had a conversation the other day. A young lady is going through a breakup, and the whole reason for the breakup is because she acknowledges that what she's giving and what she's receiving is out of balance. And whereas before in previous generations, before us, they would stay. They would stay either for the stability of what that relationship is, whether it was codependence or whatever those wound aspects were being highlighted, they would stay within that. But the generations that are coming up after us now are able to consciously recognize those things and make the shifts necessary in order to move forward from being stuck in that wounded area, but really moving more towards the balance of that and knowing what it is that they need, what it is that they want and they desire within a partnership. Yes, it could have been all butterflies and rainbows for the first, honeymoon phase, but as you get to those times where the conflict begins to settle in and it's time to do that shadow work, if your partner is not willing to also put in that work, how long will you stay? How long will you endure that suffering? Because then you put yourself in that wounded category by not addressing it and not being able to have that flow back and forth with your partner as to what needs to happen to transpire for that healing, whether it's for yourself, for the both of you, or if it's just time to make that split.
I don't even think everybody was able to receive everything you said because you spit that out. So I want everybody off the rip, don't inhale, but open your belly like a balloon. Okay? Open it up. So open it like a balloon and now inhale. And then allow the air to rise up the spine. Notice the shift. Notice the shift. Notice the shift. And let's try it once more as a group, as a collective. Don't inhale yet. Just expand your belly like a balloon. Push it open just enough. Let go of the tension in the gut and the willpower. You don't have to express your will in such an aggressive manner. And now we inhale, filling the air up in the belly. And now we exhale and visualize the air going past your heart and healing the heart. The heart chakra is where Scorpio sits. It sits in the heart. And then let go out the mind. Bust that one more time. Quiet your breath. Breathe easy and breathe light. Release the tension from your jaw. Allow your ears to melt. Allow your shoulders to relax. And let the sound carry you up and away. As we reopen those energetic and receptive feminine channels. As we step back away from the ego, step back away from the fire, and we come back into the self. Uninhibited and undistracted. So that was super beautiful. I mean, Jalicia, Farrell, I want to say thank you tremendously for supporting and just getting on this wave of energy right now. I felt a supreme call. I know how many people were completely tense. I caught mine yesterday. In the last 2 days, I got hit. I got smacked in the face. And I was like, you know what, let me come on here and try to help regulate, whoever decides to tune into this frequency. So what I would like to say is there any closing messages now that you're back in this receptive energy between Jalicia and between Pharaoh? Are there any closing energies, closing messages that you're receiving? Okay, not pushing, receiving in order to express.
Allow the destruction to happen.
Bam. A lot of destruction to happen. A lot of destruction to happen. And this fire water dragon, fire and water is what creates steam, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if y'all can actually see what this is saying.
Prepare for change.
Enables. Wait. It goes off the screen. Let's see.
I know it's
say
kind of
something
blurry.
for now. Oh, there we go. Okay. Say something for now. Okay. Enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected. Have fun. Yeah, that's one thing that was coming to me, the order and chaos.
Yeah. I'm going to read it again because it is clear on my side. This fire and water dragon, and I have two that are pulled. So I'm gonna show you what this means as well. That'll be really where we close out. This is a Neptunian dragon, okay? Dragons help clear lower level frequencies that are working and operating on the low astral plane, which we have access to, pretty much everybody. The high astral planes are where more like mastery is required when it comes to traveling the astral, if you will. The fire and water dragon is more fourth dimensional dragon, so we're very closely related to this. When it comes to this Neptunian one, it's like this is a little bit more far-fetched. This fire and water dragon is here to enable your life to flow with loving force. And that's what it means to combine ego or fire with water, okay, which is fire. So a loving force, what the creation of the two is Scorpio. The steam builds up, the water builds up and creates steam once it hits Sagittarius. Okay, that's the loving force. It literally says prepare for change and move quickly. No, not move quickly. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Expect the unexpected, and that's what we always are expecting when an eclipse. Expect the unexpected. The most important part of this message is to have fun. Okay, that's the most important part of it. Have fun. You know, change does not. Five, which is big changes in numerology. Leo, it stands for fun. It's the house of fun. It's the house of play. It's the house of creativity. So play with the unexpected things that are coming. To me, today, this is a completely impromptu, unexpected live. I didn't wake up in the morning thinking this is what I was going to do. I actually had an astro therapy session, and I was in the right vibration after that, and I went live right away because I saw my community was like going through whatever they were going through. I noticed how much tension was happening. So this is what the result was. So the key is, for me, this is about having fun. Like, this is I'm not serious about this live at all, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't come on here with no serious intention. I didn't come on here to sell shit. I didn't come on here to get thumbs up. I didn't come on here to promote events. I'm just here. Like, this is unexpected. So this is kind of one of the things that's happening right now. And this is for my next level psychics out there. Okay, this is a Neptunian dragon. This is Pisces. But I want to remind people about, I'm going to make a totally separate video about this on a serious note because it is important, about what does it mean for Mars to square Neptune. Mars in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces. This is Pisces. And if I gave you the quickest download, Gemini will lose this battle against Pisces, period. Mars has nothing on Neptune. Neptune has the complete upper hand. And Neptune is the divine feminine energy, okay? And Mars is more of a masculine presence. Gemini is a masculine presence. So this is saying that whatever you think, whatever I think is not more, bigger, or greater than what the divine is showing me and asking me to be open and receptive to, period. This is the simple reality, period. So what this card is asking is to open yourself up to the soul wisdom, okay? Let me see if I can see this one more time. It enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. It's a call to develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge and wisdom. So this is really kind of, I'm pulling the trigger on that. I want everybody to just let that sit, let that sink, and just, realize right now that the divine feminine is in charge, is in lead role. It is head honcho, okay? Hefa, not hefe. There's no hefes in the building right now. This is hefas. These are female bosses in Mexico. Work with the female boss energy within you and respect that the sun is blocked out and that the moon is in front, blocking the sun. So intuition, the divine, has priority over assertion and physical energetic projections. All right. I want to say I love you all. I thank you, Jalicia, Pharaoh. Y'all so appreciate it. Welcome from the abundant reality. Now we here. We made it.
Yes. I also wanted to just put in
Yeah,
I was watching a little video. My nephew was watching Kari. Yeah, you know Kari.
yeah.
He was watching the video of the planets. And they were just basically talking about little facts and stuff like that of the planets. And they got to Pluto and they talked about how Pluto had a heart. And they talked about how Pluto also had, what was it? The water in Pluto, like water has a reservoir, like an ocean, some whatever. And it was talking about this transformation of like where the water turning to a gas or something like that. And so no, the ice turning into a gas. It wasn't even like the water turning it. It wasn't even the ice turning into water. I think it was, or was it Saturn? I don't know. Okay, but it's talked about the ice turning into a gas, not into water. So it was just basically talking about like gas, being like this spiritual, basically, is going from this hard, cold thing to this transformation of like into like this more spiritual realm of like skipping the water, going straight to the air. I think that made me think of Neptune, or you know, the gases and things like that. But I just had learned this, so it's not like I'm not gonna like I'm an expert on it, but it just made me think about that.
You're right on point. To be honest, you're absolutely. I talked about today. It's so crazy. I had an astro therapy session and did like an angel reiki with a guy, a gentleman actually, and young gun too. He was super young. I'm like, damn, people are just like, you know, they're releasing spiritual ties when I was still acting like a fuckboy. Period. You know. So I'm like, damn, this dude he just got out of Hades today. I'm not even kidding you either. He just got out of Hades and he's just young. I'll leave it there. And he had a Mars in Pisces, right? And somebody in the chat says, I think Tiffany, that she had a Mars in Pisces. He has it in the ninth house, actually. His Mars is in the ninth house of Pisces. And he also has his MC on the 10th. With like a Pisces lily. And I had explained to him a little bit more about Neptune because it was important for the read. And Neptune is one of those gaseous planets, gaseous, where scientists qualify the gas as water, but it's not water. And it goes right into what Jalicia just said about, you know, it has the ability to have this rock hard form, yet from a gas, yet is it water, yet we don't even fucking know. And understand that that's what Neptune is. This is what spirituality and divinity. This is why it's called the Great Dissolver, because it can go from such a hard form and substance that can't be qualified as a hard substance or form. It's qualified as water, a type of water that does not exist on Earth, which comes and based in the form of gas, which is the fog that Jamie in the Abundant Reality was talking about today. She talked about the fog. Okay, this is coming from a dense gas, actually, a gas that has a physical density to it, but it's dissolving, which eventually turned into the fog to give her the intuition that water provides. So, I mean, I could do a whole separate talk on that. So I hope that for now just resonated with people. I've been working with a stone called aquamarine. It's a prime stone that works with Neptunian type energy, Aquarian type energy. When we're talking about these solid gaseous forms which embody water or psychic intuitive properties to open us to the receptive divine feminine energy. So this is one of the stones that I have been like playing with. Blue kyanite is one of them. Basically any blue stone, working with sodalite in raw form. Literally any blue stone. This is how right now during these times, focus on the feng shui of your home. I've been focusing on the feng shui of my home. I highly recommend that people do not fucking go outside too much for the next couple of days. If I'm being honest, if you have the ability to stay home, just chill, because we know about this as we talk astrology. Think about it, like everybody does not understand what's happening. So many people in the world have no idea there's an eclipse today. No, like so many people have no fucking idea. So understand that there's a severe consequence to being surrounded by other people who are unconscious about how intense these energies are. And projection from the wounded masculine, right? People who have masculine energy, but they're being required to operate from the feminine, they're gonna try to fuck shit up, all to avoid their own pain or their own trauma and the transmission and release of that. So be very careful. I would not fuck with too many people right now, if I'm being honest. Like, just take your own space, stay safe, don't be in fear, but also embrace your fears, because that's what Scorpio is designed to do, designed to be motivated towards walking in the depths of everything that it fears most, to the point where it will manifest it within seconds. So when it manifests, understand that this is something you've dealt with years ago. This is something you dealt with throughout your life, and it's only reforming and showing you what you didn't see the first time around. So you will experience this density in the most realist of ways. It will be a physical manifestation. Understand that Scorpio physically manifests from the metaphysical, and it manifests its fears rapidly. So, you know, when things are physically a good reason to be fearful, like if you just see a lion pull up in your fucking street and you're like, this is not possible, it's because you feared that lion from the metaphysical so much that you physically manifested it. So my point is, this is something you've already come across, which means that it's a fear that you've already tucked away under the rug, whatever it is, and it's being asked to let it go. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Like it's only come to the surface so you can finally see it, because you chose not to 5 years ago. You chose not to 2 years ago. You chose not to 2 months ago. And now it's like, hey, I'm here, self-known Scorpio. You want to see it now? It's a good time. If you can see it now, then you can finally let it go. And that's a lot of what this energy is about in this eclipse. So, take it for that.
Didn't Saturn go direct? Is Saturn direct now?
Direct, baby. This is good news.
Yeah.
Mercury is direct, baby. This is good news. We're not even in Mercury's shadow no more. Everything is going direct right now, except for Mars. Mars is getting ready to go retrograde. So that's not fun.
Gosh.
That's not, I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's a whole different day. I'm gonna leave y'all alone for that time.
Yeah. I'll keep the vibes high.
That's just about to be buck wild. I promise you, people are gonna have so much intellectual fuckery happening. It's gonna drive you crazy. It's gonna drive people crazy. But I'm gonna make a separate video. Cancer, Scorpio rising, feel this eclipse vibes. Bang! Happy birthday, baby girl. I want to say my mom's birthday was yesterday. Super dope. Happy birthday to all my
Happy
Scorpios
birthday,
out
Mom.
there. Hey. All right. Hey, beyond that, I thank you all. I'll see you soon. Thank you for those thumbs up. If you have not hit that, help your boy out. Hit the thumbs up. Think about and consider champion. All right. Come on, channel member. Other than that, we do have the eclipse coming in Taurus 2 weeks later. Nobody talked about it too much yet. I have an event. It's literally $19 to join on that webinar. A lot of what's happening between Jalicia and Pharaoh and everything going on today is happening, but backdoor. If you are already a member, I made it $0. Members will get that for nothing or for whatever and however you already supported me. So I want to say thank you for that. If you're not a member, perfectly fine. We're going to have about a 3-hour event. I'm going to help you understand all the way up into what happened in the past, up to 2023 next year, because we have more eclipses coming next year in this Scorpio Taurus energy. And I'm going to help you predict forward, help you understand how is Uranus as well as Venus impacting you specifically, those planets as energies when it comes to the zodiacs that are ruled or even in exile underneath those planets. So you get a lot of personal forecasts, a lot of personal astrologies. And like I said, this won't actually be live. This one won't make it live, but you're going to see, basically it's going to be like how Jalicia and Pharaoh on this call with me now. You're going to be able to be there with me. We're going to do a lot of breath work. To be honest, I'm going to teach you different breath modalities. I did a little bit of that today, but much more advanced breath works so that you can operate and work your sexual energy up the spine into the places and areas of your body that's required. It's going to be different for each person. Okay. So that you can actually, a lot of what's going on is like, look, releasing physical limits are one thing, but to release energetic and etheric chains, a lot of us are like doing so much shadow work. We're doing so much like, personal work, but it's like, why do you keep ending up with the same reality? And it's like, the guy I had today, for example, is like, bro, he is a spiritual badass. In all sincerity, he was able to piss off Zeus, Kronos, all the mythological gods, and he somehow survived. And so he can't really die. It's his own genetic DNA. But he was put in an etheric prison. He was literally placed in Tartarus or Hades. And you can't get out of Hades no matter how big of a god you are. So I'm going to be doing an angelic Reiki as well, where it's like, energetic ties and chains are very different than what you can't make enough money and get out of fucking Hades. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't apologize to your wife or your husband and think that it's not going to be okay. It's just not. Like if you did etheric crimes, okay, you can't get out without spiritual release, period. I don't give a fuck, okay? So I'm going to work with that on a Taurus full moon, and that's when things come to completion. So check out that link. I'm going to drop it one more time in the chat. And like I said, it's a $19 webinar. If you're already a member, you got it for free, baby. Thank you for supporting me. I support you. I'll see you all soon.
All right.